All right, guys, today we're talking metric system. Now, metric system is easier than our system, which is the US customary system, because everything is base 10. So all we're really doing is moving decimal places, shifting place values, and it's pretty straightforward when we're using the metric system. So let's remember, when we're multiplying by things like 10, 100, 1,000, those are our base 10 numbers, and all we're doing is shifting place values. So for instance, let's look at a couple problems right here. Let's say we have 16 times 100. All right, all we're doing is keeping the 16 and adding two zeros. So if I'm doing 16 times 100, I've got my 16 with my two zeros. I've got 1,600 or 1,600. Piece of cake. All right, let's try one with a decimal. So now we've got 4.3 times 1,000. Now this is if I have 4.3 and I multiply by 1,000, I want to move my decimal place 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. We're going the same number of spots as the number of zeros we have. So if I move this to the right once, I now have to go 2 and 3 times and fill in with zeros, and our answer is 4,300. There we go. All right. Now, what happens if you multiply by a number with a decimal that's a base 10? So things like tenth or 100th in this case. So we're doing 5 times 100th. Now my decimal place is going the other way. All right. Now 5 doesn't have a decimal point. Let's write it with 1. All right. So I could write 5.0. Now, I want to make this number get smaller, right? I'm multiplying by a number less than 1. So now, instead of my decimal spot going to the right, now my decimal spot is going to the left. All right, so if I put a decimal there, I'm going to have 0.05, and there was a 0 back there, but we don't need that in that case. All right, so there's our little refresher on how to multiply by a base 10 number. Now, let's kick that over to what we know about the metric system. All right, metric system has its own place values, and we're going to go through them all, but not all of them are really all that important. All right, so let's check it out here. We've got up on the board all of our place values. All right, so the base of our metric, if we're talking about weight, it's the gram, liquid measure the liter, and a distance would be the meter. So those are our base. All right. So if we're talking weight and we're talking grams, we might also be talking about milligrams. Milligrams would be something for very small, something super light, like a grain of sand. Okay. We also might have kilograms. Now, in between, there's all these other places. So if this is my base, and let's say we're talking about 1 gram, okay, there is such thing as a decigram. That would be the next place value back. There's a centigram, but people don't really use centigram. The ones that we're going to focus on in terms of today and in big picture wise is going to be like this. All right. So for liquid measure, we're going to worry about the milliliter and the liter. For weight, we're going to worry about the milligram, the gram, and the kilogram. And for length, we're going to worry about millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. All right? So let's say that we have 1 gram. How many milligrams is that? Well, each time over here, we're gaining a place value. If I have 1 gram, that would be the same as 10 decigrams. It would be the same as 100 centigrams. It would be the same as 1,000 milligrams. All right. Now, milli actually means thousand, and the reason that a million is a million and not 1,000 is that a million is 1,000 thousandths. Make sense? All right. Let's go the other way. The bases we're talking about 1 gram. We would have Let's get rid of that. 0.1 decagrams. We would have 0.01 hectograms, and we would have 0.001 or 1,000th of a kilogram. All right? So all we're doing is shifting decimal points. All right? So let's try something out. Let's say that we had 3.26 as our base. And that could be for a gram, it could be for a liter, or it could be for a meter. All right. And let's try it for length. If we're talking for meters, the ones that we would be concerned about are centimeters. All right, centimeters is multiplied by 100. It's two place values over. Multiply by 10, shift it over once. Multiply by 100, shift it over twice. So if I shift over 2 times, I would have 326 centimeters. All right. Millimeters, I'm going to shift it over one more time. And I would have 3,260 millimeters. All right. If I'm going from meters and I want to go over to kilometers, now my decimal point is going the other way. 1, 2, 3 times. So if I move my decimal place back once, I would have to fill in with 2 more zeros. So I have 0.00326. All right. Let's try one, but let's break it from not in the middle of the base. All right. Let's start with, let's say, kilometers. Okay. Let's say that you have driven a distance of 2.6 kilometers. All right. Let's change that first into meters. 1, 2, 3 place values. 1, 2, 3 place values will be 2,600. All right. I've got to move it over 3 more place values to get from here back now over to milli, right? Whew. And we have a grand total of, let's get that in the right spot. So you got 2,600,000 millimeters in 2.6 kilometers. All right. So metric, all you got to do is make sure you're moving the right way. Okay. If we're going to the right, your decimal place is going to the right that number of times. If you are over here on the left and if you're coming to the left, your decimal place is going that many times to the left. All right. Remember, the number doesn't change. I have 326, I have 326, I have 326, I got 326. Down here I have 2 and a 6, I got a 2 and a 6, I got a 2 and a 6. And all we're doing is moving the decimal place. All right? So that's today's lesson on metric. Good luck. I've got some work for you to do with Khan Academy. Any problems with that, please let me know. Hit me up in office hours. I'll be there tonight. I'll also be there tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Rock out.